Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest, Dr. Salah Obayya, a chair professor of photonics. It's a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, sir, for joining us. Now, at least almost 400 Egyptians have secured spots on the US-based Stanford University list of the world's top 2% in the most cited scientists in various disciplines. First, could you tell us more about the Stanford University list and what does it mean to be on this list?
Well, I would like first to thank you for hosting me today in your program.
Thank you, sir.
It's really my honor to speak today about the 400 Egyptian professors.
Yes.
As a representative of them that have, as you said, we came in the top 2% of the list published by Stanford University in cooperation with Elsevier publisher. Actually, this is an exercise that is performed yearly, this time round every year, in order to recognize the highly accomplished researchers all over the world in 22 specializations. And yet 400 Egyptian professors to top up the list in the top 2%, it's really a good achievement that
Indeed.
reflects the state interest and the state care of scientific research in Egypt over the past few years.
Indeed. Tell me a bit, Doctor, how are scientists added to this list? Do you have to be published, or do you have to, how do you become on this list?
Yes, in general, there is a metric that's called H-index. H-index stands for Hirsch index. Hirsch is some institution who has come up with this metric in order to measure quantitatively the scientific achievement of a particular researcher here or there, regardless of the field he is working in. So H-index in general, if I said someone H-index is 10, this means the professor has published at least 10 papers, and each of them has been cited by others at least 10 times. So the higher this number, the more impact and more recognition of this researcher in the field.
Right.
So this is one factor. H factor is an indicator. Another indicator is how many papers he has published in his career so far. And number 3, how many times his papers has been cited. So Stanford University, in cooperation with Elsevier publisher, they come up with a sort of normalized and combined factor that combines the 3 things: H factor, publications, and number of citations. And according to that, they list the researchers working in all fields in a sort of descending order.
Right. Doctor, let me ask you, what are the particular fields that Egyptian scientists are outstanding in?
Well, I think the 400 professors, they are very diversified in all fields of science and technology, right across from medicine, engineering, science, chemistry, physics, basic and applied sciences. And as I said earlier, this actually reflects how much of interest and care the state has devoted to this vital field of scientific research and higher education that is really vital to the progress of Egypt for the years and decades to come.
Indeed. Doctor, now the Minister of Higher Education, Khaled Abdel Ghaffar, said the list includes scholars from 33 different universities, including 48 from Cairo University, 38 from the National Research Center, and 31 from Alexandria University. What does this say, in your opinion, Doctor, about these institutions as educational lighthouses?
Well, these are the public and governmental universities that we are used to have such good achievements. But let me add to what you said. Also, private universities,
of course, they have a very big role, indeed.
Sorry again?
Yes, of course, private universities as well have their own scientists and researchers.
To play a role in science.
And all from inside Egypt. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Doctor, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Right. Doctor, what, in your opinion, do we need to support a new generation of scientists and people that have the potential and are willing to enter scientific research and to further develop in this field?
Actually, this is a very good question. We need to work more and more on our universities and higher education and research institutions for what I can call it talent acquisition. I mean, we need to dig deeply and across Egypt, from Upper to North Egypt, for really talented young students and young generations in order to join research-focused and research-centered institutions. And the University of Science and Technology is a good example of this.
Right. Now, Egypt is implementing the State Vision for 2030 in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or the UNSDGs. Now, how is scientific research supporting the implementation of this visit, and how important is it to reach this vision, in your opinion, Doctor?
Yes, there is a very good correlation actually between how much development we have in our economy and how much we have developed in our scientific research. As I said earlier, if you look at the list of the most 10 developed countries in the world, if you look at the top 10 states, you will find them in the same order they are developed in scientific research. So there is a perfect correlation between the two. So yet, in order to achieve good economy, in order to achieve good societal development, good development in agriculture, in any fields, we need to start and focus on our scientific research and higher education. And I think this is the real mandate that the state is looking at this stage.
Right. Right. I'd like to thank you very, very much, Dr. Salah Obayya, the Chair Professor of Photonics. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us and for your insight. Ladies and gentlemen, a short break, and we'll be right back to continue our discussion. Do stay tuned.